Paulino, what are we cooking today?
Cooking with chicken and dumplings for Bob Jones in Crawford, Texas has requested chicken and dumplings. We're making chicken and dumplings today.
You can't wait for this.
Man, this is
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Corona.
Be ready.
Quarantine.
Stay tuned.
Welcome to Paulino Cooks. Bueno, hello. Buttery, wonderful, bacony, mushroomy, garlicky, oniony, white winey, lemony sauce all day. Good evening. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, please, so I know how many people are watching the video. Because if we get a lot of subscribers, we can make more videos. If we don't get very many subscribers, we're not going to make very many videos. So, thank you for tuning in. Tonight we're going to be making Bob Jones chicken and dumplings from scratch. So, thank you again coming by. Make sure you push the button, and we'll see you in the kitchen. I'm going to use this chicken, this one piece with the bone in and the skin on. I'm going to use this as our chicken timer. This will let us know when the chicken and dumplings is done.
And how's that?
What will happen is as first thing I do is I'm going to sear it to use some of the chicken fat to saute the vegetables. And the third is when this meat comes off this bone is when you know it'll be done. So what I like to do is I like to go to the store and I like to buy skin on, bone in thighs. They're usually cheaper than the boneless skinless. These particular ones were 99 cents a pound.
Is that price and weight, is that like street value or is that like...
That's real good street value.
Street value?
That's 99 cents. There's a couple different ways to do it here.
Let's see.
See that?
Good technique. Just get it out of there.
Yeah, just get it out of there.
For this,
but what I'm going to do that nobody knows is you can make stock. I'm going to actually put it in the soup. And all that's going to come off into the soup.
No way. How's it coming along? What's going on?
We're cutting the vegetables now. So we cut the chicken, now we're cutting the vegetables.
How's that working out for you?
It's working really good. We're just giving them a real little dice them up, cut them up, small pieces, all the same size. So the most important part of this is that they're all the same size. They can be all really big, really small, or really medium. Whichever size you want them to be, but they just all have to kind of be the same size.
Uniform.
Uniform, that's it. And you got one pot, that's all you need.
There we go. Boom. Shaboom.
Boom, boom.
So Paulino, what do you love about this dish?
Well, what I really enjoy about this dish is that it's comforting, wonderful. It's chicken.
Really?
It's chicken and dumplings. It's classic. Who doesn't love chicken and dumplings?
I don't know.
Maybe you should try it.
We're gonna have to check out these.
It's wonderful.
We'll let you know. Thanks for tuning in.
I want him to get some beers. Just browning seal. Look, it's starting to brown a little bit. Now, that's what we want. We want it to start browning and cooking. A couple things that need to happen here. Cooking the chicken. Now we're going to have to add the vegetables. I want to thicken it a little bit, so I want to make it a little roux, so I need to add a little bit of flour.
All-purpose flour, what do we got here?
All-purpose flour is what we're going to add. We're just going to add just a little bit. Just a little bit, and so that when we add the stock, that it's not completely entirely sort of brothy. It'll have a little bit of thickness to it.
Gotcha.
It'll have a little bit of smoothness.
All right. Looking good, looking good. Keep going.
Now, you ready? You want to do these
Yeah, what's
that
up?
one? So after we've added a little bit of spice, we want to glaze with a little bit of dry wine, a little Sauvignon Blanc.
That looks good. Smells amazing. So what is that I'm smelling? It's like almost a cinnamony.
That's
turmeric.
the
Is that
herbs,
turmeric?
man. That's the herbs. It's the turmeric. It's the bay leaf. It's
Man, the
the
bay leaf,
herb de
yeah,
Provence.
man,
Herb de
that-
Provence.
Yeah.
It sounds funny, you know, and
Does it?
it's old and classic. But I'm going to tell you what, guys. It's got all the herb profiles that you want in there that you don't eat a lot. I mean, who's eating rosemary every day? Who's eating thyme every day? Who's eating
Me now.
lavender? You know, this one has lavender in it. This blend, this is a
Lavender?
really good lavender.
All right.
It's got a really good blend in it.
All right.
It's got oregano. It's got basil, dry tarragon. That's what you're smelling. Is the tarragon.
What am I smelling?
The sage and the tarragon. You're smelling the sage and the tarragon, the rosemary. Oh my goodness. I said that less is more because a little bit goes a long way. It's very powerful. That's what you smell. Now I'm just adding the chicken stock. We have browned the meat, added the vegetables, added some herbs and some spices. Now we're just gonna let that simmer for about 30 minutes.
So adding more stock would make it more brothier. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying it depends on how you like it. I've got friends and family who like it real brothy.
Okay,
With a little bit of stuff in it. They call stuff, the chicken, the
Stuff. Yeah,
vegetables.
yeah.
Some like it real thick, cooked down where it's hearty. You know, sort of like mashed potato-y thicky. Green
yeah.
potato soupy. Which that's what this is gonna be. It's gonna
Okay.
thicken. We have a little bit of just a little bit of roux that we made earlier with the flour and the chicken. But once we add the dumplings are made of what, folks? Flour. We're going to add cooked flour in here. What do you think's going to happen to the edge of the flour? It's going to cook in the soup. It's going to come together. Flour, soup, thick. Oh yeah, what you want. Yeah. This one out? We had some extra cream left over from the other night's recipe. So it's not bad to add that at this point. Now that it's not boiling, you can add a little cream. And it'll sort of give it a nice, smooth, silky.
Silky, yeah.
Delicious. So it just gives it a little richness, a little body. Adds a little more liquid to it. This is going to be a good one. We're going to use, this is just regular old butter. We're going to use about 2 tablespoons of it to make the dumplings. And then also we need about a teaspoon and a half of baking powder. The best kind, we got the good stuff. H-E-B baking powder. We got baking powder, salt, flour, touch of pepper. And now, then we'll add the butter. We're ready to add the butter. When you do the butter, when you add, you just chop it up into small pieces. You add it right in. And this is where you make your dumplings. So you work your butter right in. See if you need, if that's enough butter. And if that's not, that maybe not. So we need a little bit more. A little bit more. So now we're just going to work the butter into the flour. Work the butter into the flour. Work.
More of a light touch. Not really.
And
like
then
you're not smashing it, trying to form
No,
it.
what-
You're just
what I'm
trying to
doing
make
is I'm mix-
chunks, kind of, or something.
What I'm doing and what I'm doing is I'm measuring. I'm seeing how much fat I have in the flour.
I gotcha.
So when I add the water, that we make the perfect dumpling, because the perfect dumpling is the fat to flour and to water ratio. Because you put too much fat, they'll disintegrate. They can't adhere to. You put too much flour, less fat, they can turn into little hard logs. They'll take forever to cook. Put too much water, they'll become runny and just run right into the soup, and you won't see any dumplings.
It just becomes sauce.
That's exactly right. So what we're doing is we're creating the perfect dumpling. If you want a good dumpling, well, you know, I wouldn't say perfect, but you want a really good dumpling.
Yeah, it's got to be the
It's
right
going to
thing.
be just
Yeah.
enough to be cooked into the soup and have a little bit of bite, but not be mushy, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. All right.
That's
let's
what
do
he
it.
wanted to know.
Life is hard, it's filled with pain, but nothing's gonna change my ways. I live my life like it's a game. I lived it so fast, now I'm at the
Ready?
Tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
Like, say when you're ready. If you're ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
3, 2, 1, go. But just like on go or one.
1.
Okay, ready.
Go.
Tell me. Go.
1.
Go. Okay. So you want to take the dumplings that we just made and cut up, rolled out. Boiling water. You want it as hot as possible. If you were baking these dumplings in the oven, you'd bake them in a warm, hot oven. So
Make sure the temp's up.
make sure the temperature is good. You don't want to burn anything.
You don't want to burn anything, but you want them to rise. You want those. You want those
You want
little
them to cook
dumplings.
hot and you want them to rise.
Yes.
And so at this point, if you see here, I'm just going to put them into the hot water, into the hot boiling the hot boiling soup. Now here's where I get the oven effect. This is where you bake them. This is where you put the lid on. Now it's going to boil real hot. Do not walk away too far from this. As it starts to boil hot, you reduce the heat down to just less than half. Okay? So just less than half is where you want to live. Think of halfway as your too far point on an electric or even on a gas. Gas, you've got start to end, you got a halfway, less than halfway. Does that make any sense? Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
So from low to high, right here. And let it cook. It will probably, when you think it takes biscuits 15, 20 minutes, let this cook for about 25 to 30 minutes. Slowly soften hot so that you get a really good dumpling. Oh, see now this is where the thermometer goes off. See, so now look, the meat's coming off the bone.
So that thigh now is falling apart.
Yes, now all the meat is coming off the bone. So when you stir it, that's the main bone that you're looking for. So now you know it's done. Now you know it's done.
Gotcha. Beautiful.
Done deal. Turn it off.
Turn it off.
It's over. Let's serve it. Let's eat it. Come on.
Alright.
So thank you for tuning in. This is now the finished product.
Dumplings.
Chicken dumplings. The chicken is tender, not overcooked. Dumplings are delicious. Thank you guys for tuning in.